Hi, and welcome to the Red Shoe Realty podcast. I'm Stacy Sappington. I'm the broker owner of Red Shoe Realty. And this brokerage and this podcast are built for agents to give them the tools and support that they need to be successful. But if you're not an agent, come on in. I guarantee you that you will find value here too. Today, I am talking with Jeremy Williams. Jeremy Williams is the owner of Red Hawk Coaching, which is a small business coaching, but he has a very heartfelt interest in real estate coaching. Jeremy, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me.
Hey Stacy, how are you? It's good
I'm
to talk with you, and congratulations on the brokerage and the podcast. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. You were a part of that, just working with you. You kind of helped me realize some bigger dreams that I've had. So I'm grateful to have you on the podcast. Before we jump in, why don't you just take a little bit and talk to me about your journey? How did you even end up in coaching?
It goes back a long ways, and it actually goes back before I started in real estate in 2004, and it goes back to my childhood. And I've always been a part, and it's been a blessing in my life to be part of a family that was entrepreneurs. My dad was a small business owner. He was a master plumber, had his business. His parents, my grandparents, had an antique shop in Moberly, Texas that they ran for many, many years. And so I've been around small business owners, and I've had a passion about small business even when I was a kid. I knew I never was going to be the guy that went into the corporate world. I spent a very short period, and I jumped off the cliff and went right into operating my real estate business. And so I started that in 2004. I built a sales career. Worked 6 years selling real estate, built a successful business, had the opportunity to move into a leadership and management role with the brokerage that I was with. And so did that. And that's when I was introduced to coaching. And coaching was in the real estate business, but it was new to the brokerage that I was at. And it just really had begun to start taking root. And so I became a coach in 2010, working with agents. Primarily at that time, most of them were brand new, or maybe they've been in for 5 or 6 years with their business. They just couldn't get past that hump of it actually becoming successful. So that's where I started, and over that time, also trained agents. There's a difference between coaching and training, and so I spent time training agents. Learning a lot about the technologies that were emerging within the industry, helping agents with that. And then progressed through that, moved around to a couple of different brokerage offices within the same company, and then eventually went to what they called expansion. And that was in 2017. We were impacted by Harvey, and a lot of the team members that were impacted at that time by Harvey, and just made the decision at that time to do what I've always wanted to do, what I wanted to do when I grew up, and that was have my own coaching business.
Yeah.
So launched that in 2017, and almost 4 years in September.
Nice. That went by fast, huh?
Went by really fast. And I do about 80% of my clients are real estate industry related. I coach real estate agents, mortgage brokers, transaction coordinators, insurance.
Okay.
And I've coached outside of other small businesses, and that's really becoming more of a focus for my business as it takes that next step. Is if you're a small business owner, I can help you. And
Right.
what makes it a little bit different than most coaching programs is a lot of coaching programs will focus just on the business aspect, and business is only half of the game. And so I really coach on business and life. You can't put them in two different boxes. They work together.
Yeah. Yeah, they really do. It's when you try to separate it that it becomes very challenging. So
Yeah, you can build a really successful business and be the loneliest successful business owner because you've left everybody behind.
Exactly.
Relationships. So they definitely both go together.
Yeah. I can attest that that is what you teach. I remember you teaching me when we were talking about the calendar and life, the acronym life,
Mhm.
and just having extensive discussions with you about that. And that's comforting because a lot of people in business don't talk about that. It is just business, business, business. And for me, and I know you agree with this, if we don't have the life part of it, then what's the point? So
Yeah, I get, one of the first things we talk about when we talk about calendar and scheduling is they'll be like, well, what do I put down first? My lead generation, or I'm like, nope. And, I'll give them 2 or 3 guesses and they never get it. And it's bedtime. What time do you go to bed? And we don't realize how important that is, to nurture our bodies so that we have the energy and the health and everything that we need to go out and serve our customers and our clients at a high level. And then I ask them, what's the next? And I think they're going to get it. And then they don't. And I'm like, it's the time you wake up. Right. It's the time you wake up. So then everything else in your life happens in between that time you go to bed and that time that you wake up, and how long you need to sleep. I'm one of those guys that need 8 hours.
me too.
If I don't get the 8 hours, but my coach, he's like a 4 to 6 hour guy. I don't know how he does it. He does, and he knows he needs that time or he's not going to operate efficiently. So schedule is huge, and incorporating those things. The next thing would be, what are your rocks in your world? And then you go to the acronym of life, and it's love, it's those relationships that you have, and then improvement, how are you working on yourself? Then fitness and nutrition. And then finally you get to the business, the economic part. And when you can help people see that, it brings that there's no such thing as balance. There'll never be anything that's balanced. But there is counterbalance. And so sometimes you might be way over here on the work side, but you can't stay there. And it's okay to be over there for a period of time, but you got to come back and swing to the other side and take care of life.
Right.
Try to stay there in the middle. It just won't happen. And it'll drive you insane trying to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I hate that word balance. I like the word harmony. As long as everything is working together, but balance is just one of those things that we can never achieve. So yeah, I love your belief system around that. And I wish that more business coaches incorporated that piece. So I love that. So back when we worked together, you had a couple of different ways that people could work with you. What are you working on these days? What you got going?
So I provide one-on-one coaching, small business coaching, and we meet weekly over the phone. And it's a great opportunity to dive into the specific challenges that you have and working towards solution. I'm not going to give you a solution, but I'm going to ask questions. That's what a coach does, is ask questions to get you to think. And because if I were to give you something and say, Stacy, go out and do this, and you don't have the buy-in into it, you probably won't go do it, or you might do it just because your coach asked you to do it, and you'll do it a couple of times, and then you haven't bought in, so it just doesn't become part of what you do. It's not a habit. And so I'm going to ask questions that help you identify the answers that are already there. You've already thought about them at some point, and we'll unlock those to where you have the buy-in to it. The accountability around coaching. There is a second layer of accountability. The first layer, though, and I always tell my coaching clients, is it's your self-accountability. Like, if you can't keep yourself accountable, a coach can't keep you accountable. And so we go through challenges, and those could be very different for the person that's new to the industry. I'm working with a couple teams that do 40 million plus a year in closed transactions. And so just different challenges for different stages. Some,
Right.
They want to grow a team. What does that look like? What are the steps? When do I make that first hire? What questions do I ask when I hire? All those little things that, the trainings don't always teach you. They'll give you the outline, they'll give you the structure, but then to actually go out and implement it, what does that actually look like? The second thing that I offer, and it's not quite launched yet. In fact, the official date will be January 1st. I will have a couple soft launches coming up. Is a membership group, and that's it's going to be $365 a year for $1 a day. You'll be able to
Oh,
come into this group. Oh, it's amazing.
that's
And
a great deal.
yeah, the value is going to be big. It's I'm bringing in also with me some advisory coaches. I've got a coach that's going to help you with your health. I've got a coach that's going to help you with your finances and wealth building. I've got a coach that's going to help on spiritual relationships. I've got a coach he's called the Fun Coach, and he's my travel agent, amazing travel agent. And we're going to talk about the importance of taking time away from your business and also some really cool destinations to head to. And
That
so
sounds really cool.
yeah, it's been something I've been dreaming about and wanting to implement, and I just haven't done it. And so now was the time, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about it. I'm growing a group on, it's the free side of it. It's called the SOAR community, and it's on Facebook, and you can go and join that right now. I've just launched it last week, and we've already got, I think, 100, close to 100 members
Nice.
in there. And so you'll get to engage, and there'll be conversation there. Yet if you want like the full interviews that we're doing, you'll have to be a member. The other thing it's going to include is training. I've got a whole series on Google already built out on how to use Google for your business. I've got a whole series on mindset that's already put together and ready to launch. I'm working on one that's based on the book Profit First, on how to focus on building a business that's profitable. And all those things, if I know real estate agents are listening to this, it's going to be generalized information that'll cover any small business. Yet a real estate agent is a business owner, and they want to make sure that they're running a profitable business. So that group's going to be launching here soon, and it's going to be really exciting. And hopefully some of the people that are listening to this come in and take a look at that.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll highlight that too at the bottom so people can find that really easily, because that is a deal. To be able to work with you at that investment level is definitely a deal. And you know what? One thing you said I wanted to just kind of touch on is the accountability piece. For me, working with you gave me that accountability, because in this business, it's real easy to just let 3 weeks go by and never touch the plan and never make the call, and nobody's calling you saying, hey, why didn't you do the stuff that you said you were going to do? And that accountability piece was so, so valuable to me. That's the most valuable thing from having a coach.
I think what it is it's almost like I'm the teacher, right? And I gave an assignment, and you have this homework now you have to go out and do. We call it an action plan in coaching. Here's your action plan for the week. And you didn't want to be that person. I know we coach both one-on-one or especially in the group. You didn't want to be that person who was like, yeah, I didn't get it done last week.
Yeah.
And so there is that accountability, and just knowing that, hey, I made a commitment to something, and I'm probably going to get asked about that in our next call. So yes, definitely accountability in that. But I want to emphasize it is so important, just building that self accountability. And just I'll give you an example. Right now I hired a weight loss coach, and they've got 2 coaching meetings a week, 3 actually. They have a mindset, and then two coaching sessions a week to participate in. And those are all said and done great. Yet at the end of the day, I have to be doing the stuff that I need to be doing every day in order to make that opportunity successful.
Yeah.
And it's about building habits. And that's the other thing we talk a lot about in coaching is, okay, what are some maybe the bad habits that we need to get rid of? And what are some of the new habits that we need to work on creating so that it puts you in alignment with the goal that you have?
Yeah, that's so true. So true. So out of all of the things that you teach and of all the things that you practice, what would you say would be your number one foundational piece to all of that?
It's a couple things. One is you have to have a business plan. Like if you don't have a business plan, it's like a map. If you think back to as a kid, and you're riding in the car with your family and you're going on a trip. I don't know if you remember the Randy McNally maps. They were huge. You'd open it up.
Unfold them and unfold them.
Yeah, yeah. And then you had to, and then you draw, you'd have the pencil because you wanted to erase it because you didn't have to go buy another map. And so you draw the line out, and that was the route to the destination. Not having a business plan would be like not knowing how to get to your destination.
Yeah.
So that would be one is a business plan. And I coach on a single page business plan. It's really easy to set up and gives you lots of focus, which is important. The other part of that is taking those things that are on that business plan and putting them on your calendar. And once you have them on the calendar, then it's work your calendar. So it's really simple. Everything in life is simple, not easy. Like I gave you the weight loss example. It's a really simple plan that I have to follow in order to do it, but it's not easy. Right. People want to be successful in real estate, and there's a lot out there that'll help you do that. It's simple, yet it's not easy.
Right.
And so go build a business plan, put the activities on your calendar, and then follow the calendar. That's it.
Yeah.
Simple, not easy. If you can do that, I've seen people just grow, I don't like using 10x, but they'll 10x their business by just doing that.
Right. Just being consistent with that one thing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it has been a pleasure. Before we go, tell me, if someone wants to connect with you, how might they connect with you?
You can call me. My number is 281-387-7689. You won't get an assistant, you get me. If I don't pick up, it's probably I'm in a coaching appointment. Or I'm with Stacy doing a podcast. The other way is go to my website, redhawkcoaching.com. And you can find more information about what I offer and the things that are coming. And last is come join my community on Facebook. So look for the SOAR community, and then it says the SOAR community, community for the small business owner. And come there and join. Like I said, it's rapidly growing. We just started it. It's not going to be just real estate. There'll be other small business owners. So it's a great way for you to network and connect with other people that might be able to support your business as well.
Right. Yeah.
The biggest reason I created that is I think what we need in this world, and it's not just in business yet. I have that passion again for small business owners, is we need community. We need people to feel like they have a safe place to go, to be able to share their thoughts, express their ideas, and to be able to help each other out, because we're all in the same boat. We all want to get to success. And if we can help each other out a little bit by doing that, I think the world will be a better place.
Absolutely. I love that. There's more than enough to go around. So I love that.
Abundance.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Jeremy. Well, thank you so much. And thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.